I have a dream, oh, I have a dream. Red, white, and blue, fly free, fly free. I believe, oh, I believe. Will you dream with me?
Welcome to Changing Times. Good morning, everyone out there. This is Wednesday, June the 22nd. Is Matt, our producer, Matt Pearson, is this the first day of summer by calendar? I think so. And you know what, folks? Here in Southwest Missouri, we've had summer for about 3 weeks now. We lost part of our spring, and honestly, we've had 90 plus degrees, 95. Actually, this Saturday, I am the weatherman. It's supposed to hit about 100 degrees. The index will be about 105. Very hot days and very dry. Unfortunately, the trees and the grass and things are not looking as good as it did 3 weeks ago. But we're going to hang in there. We got a great show. This is show number 64. If you guys are counting, I'm counting it because we've made it through 1 year. And now we're well on our way into our second year. And you're noticing that my co-host, Don Blackard, is not here today. She's on assignment, and she'll be back. You can't get rid of the best part of the show, and I'm going to try to take over while she's gone. And we're going to have a great show today. And we've got a great guest and a great subject. We're going to be talking about libraries, public libraries. And to me, I love libraries. I love reading. I love books. I just like to hold a book. I like to read a book. And I like magazines. My wife, I drive her crazy because I'm always wanting to buy more magazines. And then they're just laying around the house. And she's a neat nut. I'm not. And so she likes to throw my magazines away before I want them thrown away. But, reading and educating yourself, either for education purposes or relaxation, just in pure enjoyment, is what we're going to be talking about today. And before we get started doing that, I want to just run down just a few calendar events happening in Southwest Missouri. And if you all, any listeners in our area, have anything that's going on, be sure and text us, email to Acts Media Group's Facebook page and let us know, and we will put that on there. But there are some important things going on that's going to be fun for this weekend. This Friday, we have a event that's ice cream social at the Ozark Park this Friday night. It's free, starting at 6:30 to 8:30. And some of us will be speaking, like myself, running for presiding commissioner. We have other people too. The state representatives will be speaking. And so it's just going to be a time to listen to candidates. And also, just the best thing is I love ice cream. So I hope you all do too. I haven't found a flavor I don't like. And so it's just amazing. You're going to get free ice cream. It's going to be really good because it's probably going to be hot, and so it'll be good for you. So try to come out and listen to, sponsored by the Christian County Central Committee, Republican Party. Hope you can do that. That's on Friday night. Then Saturday night, all kinds of things happening in Christian County, starting at Clever at 4:30. Jan and I'll be over there. We have a booth, and that's Clever's Independence Day. And so there'll be fireworks and booths and toy games for the kids to play, and all kinds of food trucks, all kinds of fun things. So we'll be there. Then at 6 o'clock, Nixa starts, and so they're going to have a great big fireworks, and they've got a great activity around their football field. Great place to have fireworks and plenty of seating and things like that. And so we'll be there. And then that night, culminating all the activities in Christian County at Sparta at Roller Park. We're going to have fireworks over there. And so I will be there. Jan, I'll be there last and before it gets dark, hopefully, and then we'll watch the fireworks over there. So lots of free family activities this weekend. Of course, we have Acts Fest coming up, and I'm going to try to have Jim Whining, our CEO of Acts Fest. He's a bishop and an attorney, and he and Pam do such a great job with Acts Ministry. And I'm going to try to have him on. We'll be able to have him on our screen and talk to us next week. We're going to get an update about what's going on with Acts Fest. It's coming up at the middle of July. and it's a 4-day event, Thursday through Sunday. And so he's going to let us know, and then we're going to have he and Paul Collins on just before Acts Fest. And Paul Collins is the founder of Acts Ministry, and we're going to talk about what we are, what we believe in, that we believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, and I think it's going to be great. We're excited to do that for all the Christians out there. We need to learn more, hear more, and know what we're supposed to be doing. Otherwise, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to introduce my guest today. It's Renee Brumett. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Renee. I saw you yesterday at a commission meeting. Appreciate you being there. You know, you are the executive director of Christian County Libraries, and we have 4 libraries, right?
Yes, sir.
So they're located
Nixa, Ozark, Sparta, and Clever.
That's right, 4 of them. And honestly, I am so proud of Christian County. I've lived there since 1977. About 46 years. And my wife, even though she's younger than me, has lived there 60 years because she grew up in Ozark, went through the Ozark school system. I grew up in Springfield, went through the Springfield school system. And so between the 2 of us, we have over 100 years of Christian County knowledge, and it is a great place. I think it was made better, Renee, when the taxpayers, the citizens, voted to enlarge our library system from 2 libraries at Ozark and Nixa to Clever and Sparta. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's enabled us to serve more of the county to where now about 90% of people live within just a few miles of an actual library facility in the county.
Well, see, I think that is so important. And that's what I told the board. I remember Barb Stillings and several of the really good people that work with you guys. Is that in an advisory role? What does Barb's?
She's on the Christian County Library Foundation.
Yeah, and that's the group I think I was talking to. You know, we had a couple of bond issues that failed to begin with on the library system, and it had to mostly do with Nixa and Ozark.
Right.
You know, and that's our 2 big cities, big towns in Christian County, over 20,000 people in each one, and you know, there was nothing really wrong with that. But I remember going to one of the meetings, and I told them that the foundation group, I said, if you really want to pass this thing, I said, put a library in both corners, Sparta and Clever. I said, that's where I said, and put them there. And then if you want to enlarge and remodel Ozark and Nixa, you can do that too. But I said, you'll pull a lot more voters in if they think that they've got their own community library. And sure enough, it passed. And I'm really grateful because you and I were talking before the show started. I really believe that even though taxes do seem to be a burden for some people, especially property tax, you have to realize that the communities that we live in, Ozark, Nixa, Clever, Sparta, a lot of these communities we live in, Chadwick, they have great schools. They have really great schools, and they're a magnet. They're a magnet to bring people in. One of your board members told me that the reason why 4.5 years ago she moved to Nixa was because of the school system for her 2 sons.
Right.
And so that is the reason why people move to different communities throughout the Ozarks. You know, all the audience out there, Renee, we have people right now, all 50 states watching our show around the world. So we say good morning to you all. And what you're going to hear today about libraries, we think will transcend back into your communities. What they're doing and what we're going to talk about here is things that I think all community libraries will be doing something very similar to. And I think that you will get something out of it. And I'm going to challenge everyone today, right now, to go to your own community library. Check it out. I think that how many people, Renee, have library cards?
In Christian County, we have about a little over 20,000 people that actively use their library cards. So we're always looking to improve that number. We'd love to have more people actively using.
Well,
that's
about a third of the people
Yeah.
in our whole entire county that's got a library card. And I know and then you said active,
Right.
and then I know there's other people that have a library card that probably don't come very often.
Yeah,
And,
I would say
and
double that
so
at
double
least.
that. So you got maybe 2/3 of the people that at least got a library card. So I'm just going to challenge everyone out there that, you know, there's a lot more than just, and we're going to be talking about it because there's a lot more to a library than just books. There's all kinds of services and things that you can tap into. And Renee's going to be telling us about that. Well, you know, when I was growing up, so, you know, I was Nicholas. I want to thank Nicholas. He's your communications director, and he sent me some questions
Mhm.
to some topics that we can discuss. And so I appreciate that. And he said, well, when we were kids growing up, well, he's still a kid. I'm a big old kid, but you know, libraries were much different back then, weren't they?
Right.
So
Yes.
they've changed a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we still have books
Yeah.
and we're definitely about books, but we have all kinds of things that you can check out and use in the library. We've got your magazines.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to
I,
clutter up your house, you
that
can
my
come use
wife
them
would
at the
like, yeah,
library.
she'd like to get out of the house,
Yep.
go over there in
And leave
2
them there.
hours. Yeah. And leave them there. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got audiobooks, we've got board games. That's a very popular collection that,
So you can
some of
play
those,
checkers or chess or
yes,
something like
yeah,
that.
or some of
Yeah.
those more involved games that maybe cost 30 or 40 bucks at the
Right.
store, and you can try them out at the library, have some good family time together with the
That's
board
awesome.
game.
I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know
love
that.
that. Yeah, it's a very popular collection. We have things like cake pans that you can check out. Like maybe you want to make a princess castle cake for your granddaughter for, a birthday, but you don't want to buy that cake pan for that one time. So you can check it out from the library.
My gosh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have fishing poles at the
Fishing
Ozark
poles.
branch.
Yeah.
You can check out a fishing pole and just hop on over to the Finley River and
Yeah. Just right
catch your supper. Yeah.
around the corner there,
Yeah.
you can go fishing.
Yeah, we have, and I know that you noticed this, and like this, we have in the spring, we have a seed library. So you can check out packets of seeds, both flower and vegetable, and plant your own garden. So
I think those, Renee, because when I was over at Clever at the library one night for a planning and zoning meeting,
Mhm.
I saw the display of seeds and it looked like to me they were native. I don't know how you got them.
we have some, yeah.
It had some native, for our area.
Yes.
And so maybe other libraries do the same thing.
Yes, we definitely try to have some native ones. We have
Yeah.
kind of all kinds, but yeah.
Well, and they're free, right?
Yes, yep.
So I mean,
Just check 'em out.
So I mean, that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring the produce back either. So
No, you don't. I mean, we always welcome guests.
So if you want to bring a tomato or two back for the librarians, then go ahead and do that. That'd be a nice thing to do. But no, that's really awesome.
We also have a collection of musical instruments that you can check out. So if you're
I didn't know
interested in
that.
learning the ukulele, we have
Okay.
some of those that you can check out.
Well, let me ask you this, Renee. I've always dreamed. My mom wanted me to play the piano, and I was playing sports. I played all sports, and so I didn't have time. But all the practices I did in football and basketball and everything, I didn't have. And at the time, I didn't think I had the time. Now I'd give anything. I bet you a lot of other people are out there thinking, oh, by the time they're 50, 60, or 70 years old, I wish I'd have learned. My wife knows how to play the piano real well, and she plays at home. I bought her a little baby grand several years ago, and every once in a while I'll catch her playing, and it's so nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice. But my question is, do you have a saxophone?
We don't have a saxophone.
Oh, now see, I just would love to be able to be like Kenny G and be able to play that saxophone. I just think that'd be awesome.
Well, if you do learn saxophone, we'll have you come in and do a library event for the community and play saxophone.
Well, I tell you, it's going to be a long time, but I would do it. So I don't know how much a saxophone costs, but maybe I could buy a used one and donate it to the library.
Yeah.
So you have people that donate instruments. How do you get instruments?
Well, we just started circulating the instruments last year, and we did have a donation of funds for us to purchase those.
Okay.
We have to pick the instruments that are easy to upkeep
Yeah.
and stuff and don't have lots of little parts and
Right.
anything hygiene related like
Right.
a saxophone would have. So we have mostly ukuleles, we have a keyboard, and then we have the drum that you like beat on the sides of it, kind of the box style cajon drum. So we've got those are what we started with a donation of funds, and then they're
Are you getting
pretty
some
good.
people? Are you getting some people to use it, or
Yes, they're hardly ever on the shelf. Like
really?
you have to, if you want one, you need to go put a hold on it in the catalog so that when it gets returned, then we call you and let you know it's ready for you to pick up, because they fly off the shelves. They're super popular.
So we still got more services to talk about,
Yeah.
but can they go online somewhere
Yes.
and find all your services?
Absolutely.
So how do they do that?
Yeah, christiancountylibrary.org is our website. And then there are, links there to look at all of our services and resources, and also search the catalog. And everything that you can check out is in the catalog. So you can look for a particular title of a book, or search ukulele, or search Wi-Fi hotspot. That's another thing we check out.
Wow.
And then if it's not, like, it'll tell you it's on the shelf right now at Nixa or at Sparta, and if it's checked out. So if it's checked out, you can put your library card information in and put a hold on it. So as soon as it gets returned, you'll get notified and you can come pick it up and check it out.
Well, that's amazing. That is great. I bet you that's in a lot of different communities throughout the United States. I bet you that you can do that. I mean, we're going to be learning things today that I just encourage people. The library, you're paying a tax wherever you are on the library, and I think it's a worthwhile tax that we need to continue to do to continue these great services. So, Renee, one of the things I think I heard, and I'm not sure whether you said it or whether Tori said it, or one of your other great employees that you have working at the library system, but if there's not a book we'll say Glenn Beck, The Great Reset. I ended up buying that book. But what about if I said to you, you guys carry the Glenn Beck Great Reset book, and you say no, and I say, could you get it? Could you get it in the library system where I could check it out? Can you do that?
Absolutely. And we have a couple of methods that you can do that. Anybody can go onto our website and fill out a form to request that we purchase a book. So that's one way. So we could just purchase it and add it to our collection. Another way is we have partnerships, and this is something that through the years, from 50 years ago, libraries didn't have quite the same resources related to technology, but now we have the technology to partner with libraries across the state and across the country to borrow their materials.
So you kind of back and forth between all the libraries.
Yep. We have access to millions of materials through our partnerships. We have lending agreements with universities, academic libraries in the state, as well as public libraries all over. So we can get things just as easily as we can bring it from Sparta for you to pick up in Clever. We can get something from Tulsa and have you pick it up at Sparta in just a few days.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think people know that.
Yeah.
Do you go into a library and you kind of look for your book and you ask them, I'm looking for a so-and-so book, and they don't have it, but you can ask them. Maybe you guys volunteer that, and your employees are trained to tell people,
Absolutely.
well, if you want that book, we'll get that book for you. That is awesome. And I'm not telling people not to buy books. Dawn Blackard, my great co-host, she's written her first book, published in December, and it's doing real well. And we encourage people to buy that book because that is a book that teaches sustainability and conservation, and it's written for small children, beautifully illustrated, and it's not that expensive. You can buy it on Amazon, or you can go to any of the local bookstores and buy it. But a lot of people today, with inflation the way it is, people can't afford to buy books.
I can't afford my reading habit.
No, so this is perfect. This is perfect that you can actually go and get a book, and you don't have to pay anything for it, and read it and then bring it back, and just let people keep reading the same books. So let me ask you this, because this is kind of how my house is. In my office, Janet and I share. We've got a nice office at the house, and I have lots of books. I have a whole wall full of books. Now, some of them are science books back when I was in pharmacy school, things I still look at, law books, different things. But And then I have my pleasure books, the books I like to read.
Mhm.
I like Cussler, the science
Mhm.
fiction.
Yeah.
I have his whole collection. I have some other things I've collected and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so the library, you got a building,
Yes.
and so you guys have evidently, if you didn't have a sale and kind of keep moving books around
Mhm.
and getting, eliminating some books,
Mhm.
you would be
Yeah, we'd run out of
you'd
space
run
real
out of
fast.
space.
Yeah.
So how many times a year do you have a book sale?
Right now we're doing them 4 times a year.
4
And
times a year.
our Friends of the Library group, which is a support group for the library, they kind of organize and manage all of those. It's run by volunteers. So they do great things. So we have one at each branch a year, and there's one coming up at Clever this weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So add that to your community
Well,
calendar.
that's
events.
right. So this Friday and Saturday at the Clever Library,
Yes.
from what time to what time?
It is
Probably
yeah.
8:30 or 9 to
Yeah, the library opens at 9, so
9
around
o'clock.
9 to
Yeah.
6 is when they close on Fridays
Well,
and Saturdays.
my wife, Janet, I got to tell you, I really appreciate her keeping me kind of neater. And so she takes a lot of our old books
Mhm.
and that we circulate books. And so as I bring new books in, she asks me which books I need to get rid of. So if I
Mhm.
brought in 10, I need to get rid of 10. So we donate them to you guys.
Great,
So
thank you.
we've done this several times. I'll tell her, since we're going to be over at Clever, Saturday,
Yeah.
we might just bring some books over to Clever.
Okay.
And so that way people
Yeah.
are able to buy valuable books, good books that
Yeah.
cost a lot of money. They can buy them at a bargain,
Right.
but it helps you.
Yes.
So
Yeah, all that money goes
that
back
money
to
goes
help
back to
fund programs and events and some of the services and resources that we have. Yeah.
All righty. Well, Matt just sent me a signal, and Matt Pearson's, our producer, just sent me a signal. And so I'm going to talk about sponsors for just a few minutes. And without our sponsors, our show really wouldn't be what it is. We are very proud of the equipment we have, that you're listening and watching us throughout the world right now. And I'm very grateful for that. But one of the things that we are trying to do through our sponsorships is to raise money to be able to buy a telephone system to where you, our listeners and viewers, can call us live and talk to Renee. If there might be a librarian somewhere in Kansas or Kentucky or New York City and or maybe around the world, and you could call either myself or Renee today or Don Blackard next week when she's there. If we had a telephone system, that's what I had at the radio station for 7.5 years, and it just makes it even more valuable to have interactive communication going back and forth. So that's what we're trying to do. So our first sponsor that we had was Brad Pistow. And Brad Pistow is a great friend of mine. He's a certified fiduciary financial planner. Fiduciary means that he always has your best interest at heart. He will not make any investments or decisions for you unless it's better for you. It has to be the best for you, not for him, for you. He is located in Ozark, Missouri, and his phone number is 417 581 9222. 417 581 9222. When you call the phone, call that number. You're going to get Lisa or Hunter. Hunter is his son. Hunter also sells securities. He also specializes in Medicare insurance for seniors. And so they've kind of got a lot of different things going on. But you will get a free book, Safe Money Matters, which is Brad's first book, best-selling Amazon retirement book. And he also just published a book in December, just like Don did. Brad's book, second book, is called Bulletproof. It's a continuation of his retirement investment planning that he does. So today I noticed, Renee, so when I was driving to the station this morning, I heard that the stock market had started 450 points down. We're in a bear market today. And so that means that every dollar we earned, now we've lost all those dollars, and we've now in the bear market. So we were in a bull market for quite some time. We are now in a bear market. That's in a dangerous area. So if you were going to retire today, say you're 65 and you were going to be leaving your job in July and you want to retire, your value of your retirement is probably 30 to 40% lower than it was. It probably can go lower. It someday will go back up again. But how many years will that take, and how will that affect your retirement? So Brad Pistow actually has plans that you never lose a dollar of your investments. Janet and I have all our retirement money with Brad Pistow. I still have some stocks, but I don't have to worry about the stock market because I know my retirement is secure. I've never lost a penny, not even a penny or a dollar. So it's really great. It's never too early to start thinking about retirement. I tell my grandkids that, and they're still in high school and college. I tell my 3 kids in their mid 40s, I tell them, you got to be saving for the time goes by fast, guys. And so you got to be doing that. So I highly recommend Brad Pistow right there on Farmer Road in Ozark, Missouri. Now, the second sponsor that we have, we're really proud of, and Brad's been on our show several times. He's a great advisor, so we have him come on and tell people what's going on. Our second sponsor, Youngblood Motor Group, that is John Youngblood and John Whittaker. John's been on our show, sitting right there where Renee's sitting, and this guy, 43 plus years of family-owned auto business in Southwest Missouri, the longest term family business in the auto business in selling cars. And my last 2 Grand Cherokees I bought from John Youngblood and John Whittaker. In fact, one of my cars, car before this one, was actually owned by John Youngblood. He drove it for about 8,000 miles before I bought it. And I'm always looking for a car with just a few thousand miles on it when I buy them. That's just what I do. You can save money. But John Whittaker actually advised us, our audience, about when do you lease. There's certain times that you could do better at leasing, and then when do you buy, and how do you do that? And he also talked about electric cars. He talked about one of his cars, which really piqued my interest because I'm not going to buy an electric car that has to have go find a charging station. I don't have time to find charging stations. And while the charging stations may be free today, I don't think they're going to be free tomorrow. You're going to have to pay to charge your car. But he has a electric car, that's a Nissan Kia that actually recharges itself. So while it's driving down the highway, it's using electric. Okay. No gas. That's great. Now you're going down the road and the battery starts to wind down. And then the generator kicks in and recharges the battery while the gas is using gas. It gets about 55 miles per gallon. And still yet, you don't ever have to find a charging station. I thought, now that's a car for me. So that may be a possibility for somebody else. Their phone number is 417-882-3838, 882-3838. And they're on South Campbell in Springfield, Missouri. New cars on one side, used cars on the other side of South Campbell. They're on both sides. They have a great selection of used cars, always over 150 cars. A lot of them are certified where you don't have to worry about different things that's going to happen right after you buy a car. And they have a great program. Renee, you probably could do this too. Don could do this. You can do this. I can't do this, but you can go online and you can buy a car and never hit the lot. You don't have to hit the lot today. It's going to be 90 plus degrees. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to mess with a salesman. You don't do any of that. You pick out your car and they'll deliver it to you to your driveway. And you have 72 hours to decide if that's your car. If you don't like that car, then you can return it and they'll pick it up and they'll bring you a different car. You can even do your trade-in online. You can do everything online. So for all of you smart people out there that can do that type of stuff, that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And I always laugh because you can if the wife is not the main driver, you put her in her seat, put the kids in the back seat, put the dog back in the trunk area, put your suitcase back there, kind of drive to the grocery store, drive around the neighborhood, wave to people and show them your new car. And you can see if you like it. I mean, who does that? They're the only ones that do that. So that's our first two sponsors, okay? And we really appreciate them. But we've got a new sponsor. He came on last week, and he's a really good friend of ours, and he is a great, great person in Christian County. So that is Louis Michael. Louis Michael, some people know him as an Elvis impersonator, and he has been on our show, and he absolutely sounds like Elvis. And he actually won a contest one time out of 250 people in Nashville, all Elvis impersonators, and he won the Elvis impersonation contest. But he's a realtor, so he sells for the firm. The firm is a local family owned in Christian County, and they're all friends of mine. I absolutely know every one of those people, and they are such good people. And he works for the firm. And so I've called him. I've got his cell phone number, and I've called him from time to time about different things. And he's usually out in a field showing property or at a home showing property. He's a hard worker. He is extremely fair and trying to make sure you get the best deal to when you're trying to buy a home or when you're trying to sell a home. I mean, everyone wants a good deal, right? And so I think he's one of the most honest men that I know. I know he's a strong Christian man. And what happens is every time he sells a home, part of those proceeds goes to his Choosing to Live, which is a nonprofit that he started. He suffered depression. He's told the story before. He suffered depression and had a gun to his head down at Busey Park, a well-known area in southwest Missouri between Ozark and Branson. And luckily, he did not pull the trigger, but he could have. He was just a millisecond away from doing that. And now he goes around trying to make sure other people don't do that, okay? Choose to Live. And this Friday, we didn't announce it, but I waited. So this Friday is a really neat deal. I'm going to finish the ice cream social, make sure I do my talk, eat 2 bowls of ice cream, and then I'm going to go to Louis Michael's. He's got a fundraiser from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Alamo Draft House in Springfield. He's got 2 theaters, rooms completely taken, and it'll be the premiere of the Elvis show. So the new Elvis show that's just coming out will be premiered that night in at least 2 rooms. I don't know if he's working on the 3rd room or not, but all the tickets have been sold out for raising money for Choosing to Live. There'll be music and games outside from 6 to 10. You're going to see a lot of good people doing great things for this great cause. And even though I will miss the show because I'm speaking and eating ice cream, I am going to be there with my friends the last hour or two just to mingle and to show support. And he has a classic Corvette that he has had in his family for a while. And he will actually be raffling that off, and all the proceeds will go to Choosing to Live. So what a great man. You know, he's kind of like me. I decided that possessions don't mean much anymore, and you start trying to get rid of some of those. You give them away, you sell them, you throw them away, whatever you're going to do. But you don't need that many possessions as you get older. So I'm really proud of Louis Michael, and I'm really 6, or just go to choosingtolive.org and you can find all about this activity this weekend. So that's our sponsors, and so we're going to get right back to talking to Renee, and hope you all have enjoyed the first part. You know, Renee, one of the things that I know that you guys have got going on right now. We've got this great book. I mean, look at this. Let me see how many. We got about 8 pages, it looks like to me. This book is really cool. You guys put this out, about every 2 months or something like that? And so this one has library events calendars, May through June, okay? Mm-hmm. And it says read books, complete activities, earn prizes, join the summer reading challenge. We're going to talk about that. Oceans of Possibilities, May 27th through August the 5th. So that's going to cover most of the summer activities. But inside, they've got all kinds of things for adults, They've got things for children. Here's egg drop. They got all kinds of activities. Ocean Possibilities, talking about the reading challenge for the summer. Great thing for grandparents and parents to be bringing their children to the library. And, don't drop, you know what? Don't drop them off and go someplace else. Parents, grandparents, spend time with your grandkids and your children. Uh, Read a book yourself. Read a magazine. Show them how important it is to sit there and read, and it'll be so much better, won't it, Renee?
Absolutely. And we have the summer reading challenge. It's really targeted at school-age children to kind of prevent the loss of reading skills over the summer. That's a known, thing that happens when kids aren't in school every day. But what we love about our program for the summer is that it's really about families doing it together, grown-ups doing it with their kids, siblings doing it together, so that it's not a chore for the child. They're going to get more enjoyment when you're doing activities, when you're doing events together, when they're seeing mom and dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, grandparent reading, and they're doing it together. Then it just instills in them that this is a fun thing. This is not about, having to go to school during the summer. This is about learning, about making learning fun, about enriching life and opening up, adventures and opportunities.
Right. So libraries are a source of family togetherness. That would be a great thing. We've lost a lot of family togetherness. I know when I was growing up, my brother and I never missed a dinner. Back when we were growing up, all families ate together at night. Today, we're so fragmented with different work schedules and activities that sometimes the whole family doesn't get together and eat. And I think that's a sad thing, because I think that unity that we had growing up, and even Jan and I with our 3 kids, we all ate together. We ate together, then we helped clean up the kitchen, and then we studied together. And so maybe our son didn't like to study together as much as our 2 daughters did, but you know what? That is so important. And kids emulate. They copy you. Whatever you say, they're going to repeat. Whatever you do, they're probably going to repeat it. They're going to do it. And so by going to the library, you're going to teach your kids a respect for learning and make it fun. It is fun to learn. I'm still learning at my age. I tell my grandkids that, and they look at me like, "Are you kidding me? You're old. You don't. Are you still?" Yeah, you learn until you die. You learn until you die. And so I think that's good. Then you have family story time. You have different times during the months where you have reading times.
Yes,
And
every week at each branch, there's a story time for the little kiddos with their grown-ups to come. And again, it's not just about reading a story to them. It's about helping them learn that this is fun, teaching early literacy skills that helps them be prepared for when they do start school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that would be great. Don Blackard's book, Henry Bigtree's 100th birthday, it is about conservation, about preservation, about making sure that, that tree did so many things for its 100 years, but to try to make sure that people know that we can keep managing our resources and things like that would be probably a good book to be in there. But all kinds of things. Movie day at the library.
Yes.
So, hey, who doesn't like a movie?
Right. And it's free. Come, and sometimes we even give you popcorn.
Oh my gosh. I tell you what, I'll be there.
We
for
just
popcorn.
need ice cream, and you'll come for that.
I tell you what, if I still had my custard shop, I would give you little cups of custard.
Well, I gave
away so many.
We have an ice cream maker that you can check out.
Oh, ice! Oh my gosh! And I don't have an ice. So the old-fashioned ice cream maker.
Yeah.
Oh man! You know what? I may actually do that this summer. I haven't had homemade ice cream in years, so that would be good.
Yeah.
What? Hey, so check out the Christian County libraries. I mean, this is awesome. And maybe, hey, a library out there somewhere else in this country, if you don't have an ice cream maker, I challenge you to get an ice cream maker. Think how popular you would be.
Oh yeah.
Okay, who doesn't like ice cream? And homemade ice cream is even better.
Yeah, that's the best.
So that's so movie day at the library. That's really good. And then you've got a page on how to log reading
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the read stack, so
Yeah.
you're tracking what they're doing and
Yeah,
stuff
and they
like
can
that.
earn prizes. And, if you grown-ups need some incentives too,
Uh-huh.
guess what? We have prizes for you too.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Yeah.
yeah,
Who doesn't like a
you can
prize?
you can get you can enter your name into drawings if you've read a certain number of minutes
Uh-huh.
of reading. Your name goes into drawings for things like an air fryer that you get to keep, or gift cards to different places. Yeah, so we have
Huh.
incentives for the kiddos and the grown-ups.
Well, that's amazing. So on the back page, it says Christian County Library scavenger hunt right there, scavenger hunt. So all 4 libraries doing that. What's that all about?
This is one of the activities that you can participate in for the summer reading challenge. So once you do them, then you can earn extra points that go towards those prizes. So this helps you, give you an opportunity to get into all the branches. If you've never been out to our New Clever or Sparta branches, this is your opportunity, and you get rewarded for doing it. But
Well,
we're very proud of those branches,
yeah.
and happy to have them in our
Well, I
communities.
tell you what, there's some of the shining buildings in these small communities, and it really makes a difference because, like in the Sparta branch, one of my daughters lived in 2 homes there before she moved to Bruner and bought some acreage. But you're actually serving Sparta, you're serving Chadwick, Oldfield, Bruner, Garrison. You're serving on both sides of Sparta. So that's a pretty good size group. And tell me about, and then Clever has a big audience too, not just Clever itself, but tell me about the fact that you guys have a meeting room in each library. So is that free for people to
Yes,
use?
it is. Yeah. We have meeting rooms and some smaller study rooms too. So if you have a group that you want to get together with, we have like knitting clubs, and we have Bible studies. We have kind of a whole range of things that you can just check with the branch that you're interested in having it at and see about reserving it. And we love having that space. One of our part of our mission as a library is to help build community. And sometimes you just need physical space to do that, to gather, to learn, to share ideas. And having a community room in each of those branches enables that to happen. And that's also where we hold a lot of our events for the public as well.
Well, I know it was a great place for Sparta and Clever. I went to planning and zoning meetings. We were doing long-term planning, and it was great to see the public out there putting their little sticky notes. In fact, I put a whole bunch of sticky notes, about 30 of them, on the first time I was over at Clever, and they told me I was really sticky. Because, and I'm glad they didn't say stinky, but they said sticky. And so, yeah, I had some ideas and things like that. So that was really good. So a free meeting room. There's always groups trying to figure out where can I meet? Where can I meet? And obviously you got to sign up ahead of time and stuff like that. But that's great. Well, one of the things that I'm doing in July 7th and 9th, I will be at Sparta and Ozark, and you guys have assigned me a time, and we'll be talking about that. But just want people to be thinking about July 7th, July 9th at Ozark and Sparta. I will be teaching, and I've done this. I think this will be my 7th year. We lost a couple of years with COVID, but I teach a government state class. So I teach you about state government, and then I also teach, now that I'm in county government, I teach you just a little bit about county government. I think it's extremely important to know how these things work, where we can get people involved. And the good news is this is for all ages. I want the parents and grandparents to sit in the back. If the kids can't drive, bring the kids to the class, and you all sit in the back. I've had grandparents tell me, I don't know how much my grandson learned, but I learned a lot. So we want to make sure that, again, don't drop them off and show that you're not interested in government. You come and listen, and we'll have cookies for you, and we'll have something to drink that's good, and we'll have a fun time. But we're going to learn a little bit about how state government works and how county government works, and that will be good. So how do people get a hold of Christian County Library?
You can go to our website at christiancountylibrary.org, or we've got the main branch is the Nixa administrative offices are at the Nixa branch. So you can call that branch there. And we would love, thank you for coming out and doing that class. We're always looking for local experts. That's a way to get involved by, connecting with us to provide classes that provides that lifelong learning for our community. Come out to the Friends Sales. If you're interested in volunteering with the foundation, that also supports the library. And just use us. Come visit us, go online, download an ebook if you're interested, or listen to an audiobook online. Let us know that book that you want to see on the shelf. Let us know that next event that you'd like to learn from at the library.
Well, very good. Well, I know you've got 2 new board members, one that's being renewed, and I want to congratulate Allison and Stephanie, 2 great young ladies that had to put up with me while I was visiting with them. One of them actually I bothered while she was on vacation in Florida. Kind of embarrassing for me. After I found out she was on vacation, I was pretty well ready to hang up. But, great ladies. That's an example of people that are in the communities that loves reading, that's going to be an advocate for the library and do the right thing. And so that's really good. I was proud to make the motion yesterday to do that. Glad you came today, because I tell you what, I learned a lot, and I think other people will. We'll be back next Wednesday, 9 o'clock again. If we're confusing you, we are now on at 9 o'clock instead of 10. We'll be back. What's the other show that's on at 10 now? Silver Linings. Yeah, Silver Linings. And so we just kind of switch places, and so that's what we'll do. So appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week.
That's what it means to really dream.